Hello and good morning. Alright, I am driving, and the topic today, I don't know how intelligible any of this is going to be. I'm kind of just mid thought on this idea that bothered me for a while, for ages, which kind of boils down to like quantum mechanics and like many worlds interpretation, or really just like the collapse of the wave function and how to properly define the evolution of like space, the universe, whatever. You need to calculate like every possible particle path, and then the particle actually only takes one of those, and usually it's going to be the one that has like the most pathways to get to that point. You add all the amplitudes, and some of them will cancel out depending on the path that was taken. But anyway, sometimes you can get something unlikely to happen, and so the question, the thing that we're talking about is like, so there's this philosophy, first off, that I quite like, because it's mine. I'm sure that somebody else has put it in different words, but I just say that it's the everything that can exist does exist philosophy. But it doesn't quite work, because as we see in quantum mechanics, some things exist more than other things. And so it's just kind of a mind-boggling conundrum here to be like, why this future and not another one? Like, why? Like, is that even something that needs to be explained, right? Why this one and not another one? Like, on one hand, it's not even something that we need to explain. So like in quantum mechanics, there's this idea called quantum suicide, which is that, so imagine you've got a Schrodinger pistol, right? It either shoots or it doesn't shoot, and you use the pistol, so you are both alive and dead, but of course from your perspective you can't be dead, so you would live. So kind of in the many worlds interpretation, you would always find yourself in the universe where you are alive, because that's the only universe you could find yourself. It's kind of a anthropic principle sort of argument that, like, yeah, in order to find yourself anywhere, you have to have a mind to find yourself, so you can't have a bullet through it. But like, if you apply that, like some people apply that like broadly and be like, well, there's always quantum interactions that can cause our death or our life, and so you're always going to find yourself alive, and so then you have quantum immortality, and that's, I don't know, there's clearly, I feel like, something that goes wrong there with that argument, because like, just even if you say like, oh yeah, well, you'll always find yourself in the universe where you survive, survival doesn't mean like good survival. Like, I could drive off the road right now and be completely mangled, but by some miracle survive in like some vegetative state, right? Or like in one universe, right? I survive with a functioning mind, I guess. Whereas for the rest of the universe, I am just a mangle through and through. So like, and what I mean by that is like, it's not just like it's quantum immortality isn't just like quantum immortality, like in a moment of like that where you have like a catastrophe and you survive it or not. It feels more like quantum healthcare almost, because there's a lot of things that can happen at each moment that would give you, oh, look at that, the corporate overlords are passing. There's a lot of things that could give you like not just like death, but like debilitating problems that you could live with that would like slowly decrepify you. And that doesn't seem to be really protected by like this like quantum immortality argument that like, yeah, basically the anthropic argument. And yet I don't know. I mean, I guess I get like that from an individual's perspective. Like you would always end up in the universe, or maybe you'd be alive. But that most universes, like for us, the observer, we're always going to exist in the most likely universe where none of this happens, so people will just die. So the only observer who's special would be ourselves. And so it's not like we're going to see like people out there that are like miraculously surviving. It's like, no, we're going to be the only ones that have that. So you're not really going to know until you experience certain death. And you're not going to be able to tell anybody because, yes, I mean, I guess you would be able to tell some people, but the fraction of the universes that you could, like, if I existed through some certain death situation, like I could tell the resultant universe and the people therein about my miraculous survival and how quantum suicide is a great experiment and I've proven it. But it's like, okay, yeah, maybe I could convince that universe, but that wouldn't actually convince anybody in the grand scheme of universes, right? Like, and so even if that happened with every single person, like, just the proportion of universes where that doesn't happen, like, it can happen for each person, but from each of our perspectives, it wouldn't happen, right? Like, almost all of the time, like, proportionally, infinitely, like, so, like, I wouldn't expect to see that anywhere in our universe. Anybody that's alive being like, oh, they survived all of this insane stuff. And so it would only happen for me, and then the people that I could tell, I was like, well, the universe split off. I don't like that term, but the number of universes where I just lived through anything would be like kind of infinitesimally small compared to the number of universes where I died in, like, right? So, like, you couldn't really actually bring proof to this. I mean, you could bring proof to your universe, I guess, if this is even a possibility. And that's why it feels so like, I just don't like it. Like, it feels like that is actually a constraint that you could say, like, well, anything that can exist does exist. Some things exist more than others, and one of those things is, it's not like you exist more than other things, I guess, but to say that you survive everything, that kind of does give you this priority, it gives you this special vantage point of the universe, because you're conscious, so you can, like, I don't know. Something just feels wrong about it, and especially when you talk about, like, just quantum healthcare, where it's like, if you're not guaranteed that, then it's like, or if you are guaranteed that, then it really comes to this, like, you're like forcing the universe's hand. It's not just like you're given a infinite number of like variations of the world, and you go down some random one. Well, now you've got like certain ones that you're much more likely to go down, right? And so then it becomes like, well, what are the rules of that? Because if it is just mere immortality, or just like the continuation of your consciousness, then I don't know. Anyway, it's hilarious talking about this because it's like, yeah, quantum immortality is kind of it's an idea, right? I don't know if he's the first, but Max Tegmark, this is where at least I heard about it the first, talking about this idea, and then I can't remember. I feel like I think I heard about that idea, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess that is right. So I was like, okay, so if you've got a quantum pistol, a Schrodinger pistol, you could hook it up to basically a lottery machine. Maybe this was in the book, I can't remember. But you could hook it up to whatever you wanted and be like, alright, so if this happens, then I will die. So you could have been like, I'm gonna hook up my Schrodinger pistol to the election and be like, if so-and-so wins, then I'm going to die. And so the pistol goes off in every universe, except for the one where the results actually are in your favor. Of course, there's the problem of like, oh, what if the pistol malfunctions, and then that could be a big proportion of like the actual resultant outcome or whatever. Anyway, all I was just saying is like, what is this crazy sort of thought experiments that we deal with? I sound like such a lunatic. Hey, it's not just me. It's the universe. It's quantum mechanics, man. It's Schrodinger's cat on steroids. And I love it. I'm totally here for it. Anyway, it looks like so dead. This is what happens when you drive for too long. Alright, I am out of here. We will talk more about this topic in the future, so until then, goodbye.